not a counter pick. But if you think that it is a mid lane Scion, you just throw one mid and one top, especially with that Camille ban coming through. That does kind of key you off and give a little bit of a exclamation mark, like, hey, they might be picking something top lane, just like that. You ban away what the Camille is the hardest counter to, and that's the Gnar.
Definitely using the rest of their time here on the countdowns to make sure they get the compositions they want and choke out that last solo lane of Lorlo's Gnar. Camille's out of the question from the side of Golden Guardians. We've seen that in the hands of Contracts and Lorlo. What do they want to deny? Actually, Trundle away from Hanser. They say a lot of power is coming from that top lane. They already banned his Gangplank away and a few others, so that'll be the last one as we get back into picks.
But right here, Cho'Gath, still a very powerful pick in the top lane, can actually deal with Banner of Command, and it'll be kind of the Sven classic here. I gotta count these up real quick if he locks this in, because in his last 7 games, he has played Ezreal 5 times. Only 2 of those times has he not played it, and he played Varus and Tristana. But yeah, the Cho'Gath comes through, so they are saving that final pick for Sven here.
And he's only died twice in those 2 games, by the way.
Out of those 5.
1 death in each of those of the 2. So pretty crazy play. Safety from him, so they're kind of allowing him to provide his own safety, but still look out for their AD carry along with that Tahm Kench they've picked up. What do we have on the side of Golden Guardians, though? Ooh. We already got a little Nocturne earlier. Contract says now it's my time to shine on the nightly Nocturne. What do we have for Matt?
Nocturne got a few buffs. His clear is much healthier because of the Umbra Blades. And at the same time, I do wonder what he's going to accomplish here, because I personally do not like Nocturne into Tahm Kench. Because if you jump after whatever Sven's on, if it's an Ezreal, he'll E away, and even if that follows, he's going to get just nommed up by the Tahm Kench, and then the Skarner will grab the Nocturne, and the Nocturnes do not usually build tanks. True.
So they're just going to have to go for Tahm Kench. See, I'm envisioning you hear this Scion bell, the dinner bell rings, and then everything goes dark. And then you have no idea where Scion's coming from. It's going to be terrifying. But, like you said, it could be easily countered. You get knocked up, you get silenced once you get in there, or just possibly eaten up by Hanser's Cho'Gath. Pretty sweet compositions as the Anivia's locked in here for high in the mid lane, so they have a bit of control if they do start getting pushed in on the waves. Hopefully they've denied TSM Baron at that point. There's the lock-in as well. It is going to be the Ezreal locked in for Sven as they get themselves loaded.
Yep,
on the blue, or red side, I should say.
So he has played 8 Ezreal games this split. The next highest AD carry is Varus, Tristana, and Kog'Maw, all tied with 2. So he's played 4 times as many games on this Ezreal this split. His KDA on it is 19.3. So far, he has very good performances on this Ezreal, and that's why he keeps going back to it. I believe he's only had 2 games where he's even had deaths on it. One of the games he had 3
times here, so 5 overall. Because he actually has another deathless game against CLG back in the other week. Absolutely crazy. He knows what he's doing.
Yes. He's had many deathless games so far, and it just seems like he's
Will this be one of them is the question. It's what they need. They need another deathless game. They need to get through. They need to not worry that Golden Guardians has just about 0 pressure on them as they look for that playoff position.
Well, Golden Guardians, they don't want it to be a deathless game for Sven in this one. They drafted the Caitlyn, they drafted the Thresh for pressure in that lane, they drafted the Nocturne as well to potentially go after these lanes, whereas the rest of it looks like a little bit of a turtle strategy here to kind of put that shell on for Golden Guardians and maybe make it to that mid game, but we'll see what Contracts is able to do. He's picked things like Volibear, he's brought out all the stops before, so he doesn't want to buy that and instead just goes for the pieces that would bring him the Iceborne Gauntlet later. One into Glacial, one into the Sheen, which is fine. But Bjergsen.
Ooh, the face check. That's gonna hurt. Terrified.
Off on the left side. Here comes Mike Young.
How much damage is he gonna be able to do? Oh, gets himself to the gummies. Very nicely done. Bjergsen able to pick up the first kill. Contracts just a bit short with damage as High was off on the side.
And that's the difference there in the level 6. Mike Young being able to suppress and pull him through, and then Contracts doesn't the top lane.
Ooh.
And Mike Young's here, though.
Good bit of damage. I don't know if they want this with a turret shot. They don't really have the movement. Could get that Realm Warp up. Here comes Bjergsen. He's got Death Leap on the back side of the fight. They go straight for Bjergsen, though, as they try to terrify him. Not going to work. Definitely and Matt now running for safety as High was on the base, could not teleport in from that last fight.
Exactly. High with the back there meant that Bjergsen is the one who ends up roaming, so tried to have different back timers, and that's actually going to be that Rift Herald turning into a turret. It's not, and now Longsword and Warrior, so he's not healthy at all. He's just trying to burst somebody, but bursting anybody on this team is a big task.
Ooh. Realm Warp coming through as well. Just going to be Bjergsen. Oh, he flashes forward. No, he didn't flash forward out. He just snuck out to the side. Beautifully done. And it looks like they're going to be able to follow up on these. Matt goes down first. That's a bit of the crowd control. The box is already gone. And they put Contracts in one as well. 18 minutes in, 4-0 here for TSM. Able to get his hands on a few kills as he voyaged around the map. Oh my word, it's like a 3v1. Bjergsen's just standing there in front of the enemy, almost takes down High by himself with a little bit of help from Mithy to get out forward. That's going to be the kill onto Contracts. They're still looking for High on the backside. Mithy getting a little too low as Haunter starts to flank in. Mike Young just coming from behind the turret. They're going to get a double kill for Bjergsen as now their eyes on the turret, but possibly going back for Baron.
I love that. The special delivery Skarner comes up from behind. The Caitlyn has no idea, just snatches her and pulls her back. He definitely goes down to the MVP conversation for a very long time.
Whoa.
Look at that. Oh.
Can't even be in their own jungle. Everybody feeling empowered now, and that's what happens. You get Bjergsen going again, and kind of the team is just behind him.
Now a 1v3.
Bjergsen on the top side. Let's see how this works. Zanya goes down. Look at that. Look at the stretch out there. Look at the Superman coming from Bjergsen, and it looks like they're going to be able to close down on this fight. Bjergsen alive? No.
Yeah, he is.
Getting more kills. Think you can take him down. It was a 3v1. The Zanya's bought enough time for the rest of the team to get there, and Sven was already working on the mid lane.
Yep, Sven able to get himself on the board there as well, pushes down that turret. And that's 7 kills for Bjergsen out of the 8. Look at this, Haunter.
It looks like it could actually hurt. I don't know if the team's going to be able to get to him in time. They throw everything in the kitchen sink at Haunter, but that gives the rest of the team time in the base.
Exactly, the rest of the team is just shredding these turrets. The top lane, the mid lane. These are inhibitor turrets.
What a game. TSM showing an immense Guardians. Quick clear by the minions. They aren't even spawning from the Nexus as Bjergsen's throwing out the Spell Flux.
Bjergsen tried to ulti some minions in. Didn't quite get the ones he wanted. He's got some melees in there. But now it's just the Anivia wave clear on these Nexus turrets. This is really the last stand here for Golden Guardians. Lights out.
They say they want topside. Bjergsen actually takes a pretty big hit. Contracts has that damage. Where's the next one? Definitely goes down immediately as he tries to get himself into the fight. I should say out of the fight from Mike Young. And now they are on to the fountain. TSM looking for the Nexus turrets. TSM with their eyes on playoffs. And 20 minutes into the game, 28 minutes, I should say. Lorlo's the last thing standing between him and the rest of his teammates, but they're behind the Nexus. TSM's looking for the victory at 9-7. They pull themselves back from a grim place in the standings, and TSM lock in playoffs.
And we've heard these guys talk about how TSM, during the first half of the split, they've never missed playoffs. They've never missed a finals. They did not want to be the first roster to do so, and they definitely are not so far. They've locked in playoffs for themselves. And that means CLG cannot make playoffs now. It was called a miracle run because that's what it would take. It would have taken a miracle.
Absolutely. And TSM came knowing what competition is well. They have to think if that happens, CLG